My Carnage welder is my go-to welder. You want to see how easy it is to get to?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
We've got the fastest deployable welder. A Carnage welder is a wire feed welder. It's basically batteries and everything inside of a box. It's quick deployment. Just take out the case, open it up, turn it on, and you're ready to start welding. No pulling batteries or getting cables out. It's literally 30 seconds and you're up and ready to weld.
It's very user-friendly, awesome penetration on the welds. The first weekend I was out with it, I had to use it, and it's the only reason I was able to complete the second course in my competition.
If you're ranching and farming, you have to have a Carnage welder in your tool bag.
If you're a hunter and you're off the grid, the Carnage welder is going to be a necessary tool.
You break, let's fix it. 10 minutes later, let's get back on the trail and let's try whatever you broke it on again.
I'm able to utilize that in so many different aspects of my life.
I always carry a Carnage welder as a part of my off-road gear.
Pack it wherever you need to, flip a switch, hook up a ground, and start welding. It's that simple.
We've chased checkered flags through dust, rocks, mud, and worse. We've crowned champions, racked up wins in places where tires go to die. And we're still just getting started. From hammering at hammers to Baja bangers. If it's brutal, beautiful, or just plain ridiculous, we're there. So whether you're bombing through the desert or just dodging potholes in rush hour, tread victoriously with Maxxis tires, built for whatever you're chasing.
All right, I think everything's working. We will say yes, we are live. All right, welcome to another WERock Wednesday. I'm flying solo tonight, but we've got some special guests later to come on. But first off, I'd like to thank LaserNut for sponsoring the live feed. So go to LaserNut for any of your laser cutting, forming, welding needs. Also like to thank Maxxis Tires. Whether for work or for play, tread victoriously with Maxxis Tires. Also like to thank Metal Cloak Suspension, Brannick Motorsports, Behemoth Drivetrain, Carnage Welders, Crown Automotive, Spider Tracks, Driveline Specialist of San Antonio, Tire Right, Axle Helmets, and Raceline Wheels. So we are coming up, we are leaving in just a few days for Grand Nationals, and then also the Four Corners 4x4 week is kicking off Labor Day with their swap meet. They will have activities going on all week. So they'll be running trail rides, having barbecue, cornhole tournaments. The auto director's on. So there is action going down every day, food. I mean, just hanging out with like-minded people out there wheeling. Whether you've got a side-by-side, they've got trails for you, Jeep, drag axle buggy, to a full-blown rear steer. Trails will be running all week, and then Grand National kicks off with the Friday night takeover. We will be doing awards. We will be doing tech Thursday and Friday night downtown, and then the series awards and the Charlevoix Sportsman Award will be awarded at the stage downtown Farmington. So such a cool event. It's going to be an awesome time downtown, and then we kick off things Saturday morning, 10 a.m. We have a 9 a.m. drivers meeting, and then we will take on some of the tough courses of Chokecherry Canyon. And then Saturday night is the Ultimate Performance UTV. So if you've got a UTV, come on out, compete. Make sure come and reach out if you have any questions on what it takes to run. It was an awesome time last year, lots of action. And then Sunday we start 10 a.m. as well, and then we will get hopefully into the shootout around 3 p.m. where we take the top 3 teams of each pro class into the hardest course of the weekend. So it's going to be an action-packed weekend and week with the Four Corners 4x4 week. So it's always an amazing time to be out there with everybody. Everybody's wheeling, and then everybody comes in to compete. So, all right, I think that, tickets are available online. You can use discount code WERock 25GN for Grand Nationals. So if you're coming out to spectate, they are online, or you can get them at the gate in person. But right now you can use that discount code to get 20% off. So go ahead and get some tickets if you need them. I think that's kind of covers a little bit of what's going down next week. But we have some very special guests all the way from New York, Melchner Motorsports. I'll get them pulled up on here now. Get audio. It looks like you're there.
We are here, so can you hear us?
I think so, and you can hear me. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. You guys have been competing all year. It's been awesome to have you. Father-son team, both in the unlimited class. So, I mean, how is the year for Melchner Motorsport? You know, where'd you guys start? Where'd you guys end up?
So, there's definitely a few changes this year compared to last year. A few little things, or even a whole new buggy for me. I guess last year I was competing in my old 3-link Jesse Haynes Moon buggy car. Now I'm in the 4-link with the big motor and all that. That was definitely weird to get used to being able to rock crawl a car with a lot of power. But we went into it, trying some new stuff out. Started off, I don't know, I know my car I've been having some issues. No excuse for my driving, but I've been having some problems from Texas with running most of my courses with a booster pack under my arm because my battery was dead, to transmissions and power steering pumps and everything. But I think that I've been having a lot of fun going around and visiting all these places again and getting to see my friends, because everyone out there they're all my best friends. I don't have many friends back here. Everyone is out in the rock crawling community, and I love it. And it's a good excuse to be able to see everyone.
Yeah, it's that's probably what really makes it special for me is, you know, not only do I get to go out there and put on the event, you know, but that's cool. But the coolest thing is that it provides a space for all of us to get together.
Yeah.
You guys all the way from New York, or you have Craig Allen all the way from California, and you guys are meeting up in Tennessee or Indiana and hanging out. I mean, that's definitely the special thing for me is being able to be around that and see everybody that comes out and comes out to compete. So yeah, that's definitely what's cool for me as well. So you guys have brought back a professional to help you guys out. Jesse Haynes spotting for you guys when he can. How is it having Jesse not behind the wheel anymore, but out front spotting you guys?
You want to take it or me?
You can. Okay.
So I love Jesse. He's like family to me. He is no doubt, at least in my mind, the best driver in the world, and in my opinion. He's pretty darn good spotter. There's still a couple things where we have some communication issues, but he does really good, and I love working with him because it's like, even if I argue with him, I can't get mad at him because he's one of my best friends, so I can't get mad at him over that stuff. It's different with me and Dad. Dad is my best friend, but he's my dad, so it's a little more. But I think it's definitely a lot different, a lot more to get used to, but it's nice. It's nice not having to worry about having to run up onto the next course and watch Dad go through stuff and try to figure out how to get him to listen to me. I can throw that off to Jesse. So
Jesse taught us a lot.
He did.
He taught us a lot. A different way to think about competition. As much as I thought I knew, and as much as I thought we did, I knew nothing compared to the way he approached competition. And we're forever thankful for that. The fact that he continues to teach us.
The driving aspect of it, he taught us a lot of little tricks with driving too. Some way bigger than others. Like lockers, I never used my lockers before him. Like it was one of those things where I left the switch on all the time. And he slowly started teaching me that, and there's so many other little tips and tricks that he would teach us. And then it's like Dad was saying, more so how to play the game. That is the biggest thing that I have learned, I think, is how to play the game. And it's very interesting how his mind works with all of that.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience definitely playing the strategy. And also having Chris Blano spotting for him. There's Chris is an excellent spotter, and he really knows how to play the WERock game and really strategize well.
I think it's some guy that spots for some guy out in Utah or something.
Oh, okay.
Who knows? I know. Big Charlie, you started. Many years ago, but you're really you're in a pretty different car now. It's crazy how far the sport's come, and but now you get to have Jesse, who not only is an excellent driver, but also one of the top innovators of pushing the technology in the sport. You're in a top of the line car. How different is that really? Coming. Stepping into this single seat Jesse Haynes car.
I always tell people back when I used to build everything myself up until my rear steer moon buggy that I had Dave Kemner built out of Pennsylvania. And up until then I built everything myself, and I would say the reason I don't weld and build on my cars and Charlie's cars now, he welds and fixes them, I don't, because I am more of a measure it with a yardstick, mark it with a crayon, and cut it with a torch. That has been what I've always done. And the bigger and the thicker and the heavier, then the stronger it is, has always been my mentality. My vehicles would weigh 10,000 pounds and still break because I just didn't have the wherewithal to figure out the proper way to engineer them. Four-link, when I built four-link, where the bars fit was how the geometry went. I was not thinking about anti-squat or length of links or any of those things. So sometimes I got lucky, sometimes I didn't. So I drove around the abilities of what the car could do, and I worked and did the best I could through the years, but I really enjoyed rock crawling the building and doing all that stuff. And I talked to a lot of people that build their own cars, and I always said to them, if someone looked at any of my buggies and they said, who did that? And they liked it, I could say I did it. And if they didn't like it, I'd say I did it. I didn't really care. But to step into a car that I want to say is engineered to be the best performing vehicle on the planet, it's a different world. And I can say, I know that I'm not a good enough driver for what the car is, because obviously we know what Jesse did with it. And I can also say that I need every single advantage I could get, given my elder age now, competing against the youth, and where I stand in order to be competitive. So giving up any competitive advantage at this point is silly. And I made that mistake once this year. And I can tell you, we'll never let that happen again. I won't make those kinds of mistakes again. We'll make sure that we can stay competitive, and the only reason we won't be is because of my crappy driving. Otherwise we should be okay. So loving the fact that I'm in a properly engineered performing car. Loving the fact that they do things that are just absolutely amazing.
And we haven't even scratched the surface of what they'll do yet.
Yeah, and I do love the courses that you're setting are challenging and exciting. And one of the great things is when I look at something, I go, I don't know if that can be done. And then I watch some of these other drivers pull it off, because we really do have some amazing drivers in this stuff. And you see someone pull something off and you go, well, that's it. Now we all have to do it, or we know it can get done, or you do something amazing. And that still blows my mind. So my hat's off to all the great drivers that are out there putting all these different brands of cars, because there are some other great builders out there too, putting them through their paces and doing these things that just make us all go, all right, we got to really step it up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to see see everybody pushing themselves and pushing each other. And obviously, you guys are both in Unlimited, so you are competing against yourself. So how did and even sometimes you're spotting for each other. Does that ever affect how you guys compete against each other?
Competing against each other, no, I can't speak for him, but I always want him to kick my butt if I'm spotting for him. I'm like, I'm gonna spot you the best I possibly can. Of course, I'll joke, like, one course he didn't have me put my rear tires, both of them, through a gate, and I thought I was fine, and he didn't look at it, so I was like, watch, when you roll over next course, just know why. And then he rolled over, and I was like, I didn't actually mean to do that.
Stop doing what I'm saying. You should do what works.
So, yeah, it's definitely, there are some times like that where it's a coincidence. But, I don't know. I think it's helpful when we do it, definitely. Everyone says, like, they'll say to us, you got such an advantage you're on the course before. Yeah, it's awesome. You get to go and you get to walk through it, but the biggest thing is, I love spotting for him, even when we argue all the time, because in every way, good or bad, I look up to this guy. Like, some people have, like, Batman or Superman, all those people. This is my Batman, Superman. Like, I want to be just like him in all the ways, good or bad. So being able to be right there watching him now, especially because my whole life I've heard the stories of him rock crawling and doing these competitions, now being able to be right there in it, watching how his head is looking at things and how he deals with the situations it's awesome, because I've always wanted to see it. And he stopped for a while, and then I kind of pushed him back into it when we saw there was an event out in New Hampshire, and when I first got my old moon buggy, I was like, I want to try this. I want to see why you love doing this so much. And I got hooked, and then he started doing it with his Jesse Haynes two-seater, and then realized that he needed a single-seat buggy like mine. And then eventually I got upgraded again to now an identical car to his. And I don't know, I just think it's awesome to be able to see him doing it again, because I've always wanted to go watch him do it, and for a while, most of my life, he wasn't doing it, and I didn't think he was gonna anymore.
Yeah, it's amazing to have both of you out there, and it's there's so many family teams in the sport, and that's such a cool thing to see. And you mentioned that you do pretty much have an identical car, but Have you ever found that they don't really do the same thing that you thought? You know, I've seen on course where you kind of do the same thing and stuff works out differently.
Yeah, there's always things that, and it could be when we tear apart our shocks to try to look at it or something, we don't set them exactly the same. Like, I think his car might sit like a little bit lower than my car just because, I don't know, I like having a little bit more travel, like a length in my shock shaft showing. For whatever reason, maybe I'm just used to it. I don't know what it is. I just don't really want to change it too much. And that's just how the cars were set when we got them. And we, for the most part, kept them like that. There's little things like my winch, because I have a short front skid plate on mine. My winch is on my front axle, as where most of these cars, they're in between, like underneath your legs, in between your legs. So that messes with how it pulls the car a little bit with the suck down and all that. There's always little tweaks with it, but for the most part, they're pretty darn close. And you know how it is when you're so bound up in these things. You are an inch off on the line, and it throws you in such wacky, weird ways.
Caleb, you know how easy it is to look at? If you just go back and you look at the videos, if Charlie made it through and I didn't, that was because his car is better than mine. That's all. That's how simple
Listen,
it is.
I think yours is a little easier to drive with the rear steer set up and all that stuff. It's a little bit smoother than mine.
Yeah.
But mine's, I love my car.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it.
Yeah, and you started pretty young, but you were in a kid's buggy Willys, weren't you?
So it originally was, Dad knows the story better than mine. He could take it over if he wants to.
It
So
was a 2C Pro Mod car. That's what I was. Drag axle, high pinion, 60s.
99-inch wheelbase. So we had Big Silver, our old big Willys Jeep with rear steer, and sounded awesome because it made a ton of power and a full like Aqualoo tub and stuff. And when my dad got rid of his old moon buggy, he got the old Pro Mod car that we used to have, and we took that out rec wheeling everywhere. And I've been driving that for a while. I mean, it started by me sitting on Dad's lap over in Pennsylvania, and I'd sit there and steer, and he'd pull the handbrake and do all the pedals and everything, and I would just steer to where I wanted it to go. Because obviously I'm not a tall guy, so I didn't really fit too well until much later, and I still needed padding. So I'd sit on his lap and steer, and eventually, more and more, and I've been going out to King of the Hammers for like 7 years now. So I got to the point where I was like, I want a buggy out there to go drive around with you guys instead of riding
Who
a
doesn't?
passenger.
Right?
And we had it sitting at home, so in my brain, I'm like, it's a no-brainer. Not like it's gonna take us down a couple miles per gallon, not like fuel. No, none of that. In my brain, it was just, yeah, we just take another car out. It's that easy. So my dad said, we were going up to Pennsylvania. He goes, if you can drive an entire day and not want to brake or need to stop for something, you can drive out of King of the Hammers. We can take it out and drive out there. So I went the whole day, and I drove the whole time, and it was so awesome. I still remember it, everything about that one. That was a fun trip. But I got to be able to go out to King of the Hammers, and then we had a big long trip out there. And was it that year or the year after we bought my moon buggy? The first year we brought Little Silver out?
Second year.
The second year, I think. So I brought it out, and then we brought it out the next year. That was when Cody was selling Moonshine. No, Moonshine. Pretty Penny. Getting them confused. He was selling Pretty Penny, and we went to, what did we go to Lasertown for? For whatever reason, we went to Lasertown, and he had me drive it around, and I was like, oh my god, you could see everything out of this car. Why aren't they all like this? And then he started like asking us, it's up for sale, which, I mean, why not? And eventually it was all like, we were like, no, because we had the two-seater on order. And it was the same trip that we went out and ordered the two-seater. The two-seater was going to be for me, and then he was going to follow me in Big Silver, the old Jeep buggy, which was like 4,800 pounds, and it was really big. And we quickly realized we couldn't do that after seeing some of the other Jesse Haynes two-seaters. So on the way back, I think we tried to, when we finally were like, all right, we'll get it, Cody had sold Pretty Penny like half an hour before we reached back out to him. So we talked to Jesse Haynes, and he found John Connor's car, which is the one that I ended up getting, and he said that's the one you want. So we didn't question it, and we got that one on the way back. And that was my old 3-link Jesse Haynes moon buggy, which I man, I did so great in that car. I knew it. I knew how to push it to the limits and then some. And now I'm in the new 4-link car, which I think I'm starting to learn where that one wants to go with most things.
I mean, so you learned in that old Pro Mod, and then stepped up into a single seat, one of the top of the line competition buggies, and then when did you go out and compete in it, and how different was that? Going from running around on the trail to putting a timer on and being forced into something.
So the first time I competed, I think it was 3 years ago. I think about 3 years ago, I think I just had a memory pop up on my phone. I did an event out in New Hampshire, out at Field and Forest. It was one of those, I was still very new to the car, and most of it was my dad drives the car from the outside. That was most of that event, let's be honest. But I had such a great time. I was just like, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. I looked at some of the stuff and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And there were a few lines I pulled off that other people couldn't get, and that was pretty cool. And I ended up getting third place that event, my first ever rock crawling event. And I was like, this is pretty fun when you do good. So I kept doing it, and I did relatively well. I think most of my events I have done relatively well. Till this year, I had a couple pretty bad ones, but it was fun. It got more stressful as I realized what was happening. Like, because at first I was like, oh, I'm just going out to have fun. Then when I realized, okay, I might be kind of good at this, it got a lot more stressful. And I don't have a timer in my car. We have a timer for it. I don't use it because I don't want to know. I just want to get through them as fast as I can. And if I want to know, it's a lot easier to look at the clock right there and be stressed out than having to go through the effort to be like, sounds like a lot of work, right? Just to be like, hey, Jesse, how much time is left on his watch? But in reality, it comes to a point where you're like, when you have that split second to think about what you're doing, you just go, no, I don't need to know. I'm just going to do the best I can. And I don't think that has caused me any problems yet, having the timer not in the car. It just makes me less stressed out. And
Jesse does keep time on the watch, because I feel like, when I competed, someone in the team needed to know if we needed to push, take a cone. And so that was I always ran a timer because of that. Like, hey, and I will say there was a time in 21 at Nationals where I got rushed, and it kind of like, I just got in my head that we needed to keep moving, and then we took some extra cones and ended up taking 4 at the end of it. So it was, it's you have to keep moving, and you have to be conscious of time. You need to know when to push and when you can spend some time, but you can't let it get into your head.
I'm starting to understand it more now, though. It used to be like I'd be on gate, say it's 5 gates now because of the blue gate. So I'd be on gate 4 out of 5 with 3.5 minutes left and be like, oh my God, I'm so out of time. And now I did have the timer in on a couple of the courses out at Badlands in Indiana. The gate, the big breakover that I was the only one to get, me and Jesse, I looked at the clock and I was like, I have 3 minutes left. And then I go, wait a minute, I have 3 minutes left. That's a ton of time. So I got up there and I took another 2 minutes after that went off, and I ended up making that gate clean instead of rushing like I normally would have and just taking it dirty. So I got up that because I knew it was just a drop afterwards. So I'm like, I'm confident enough in my car. I know it has enough wheel speed to get through the drop, and I know how to do it. So that's a quick one. So I was like, yeah, dude, I have realistically if there's 3 minutes left, I have 2.5 minutes to get through this gate. So I didn't rush, and I was calm through it, and it worked out instead of taking a cone and rushing through it.
Yeah, I know there was a lot of times when I was running out of time, we would be working our way through gate 4 with 40 seconds left, 30 seconds left, and my dad would get excited and start talking loud. But it was always like, we got plenty of time, but you got to move. You got plenty of time. We got 30
Take your time, but hurry up.
but 30 seconds. But it was it goes quick in some areas, but you can make a lot of ground up in 30 seconds. You can move a long ways for sure.
Yeah, so that the time management is the biggest thing. And like back when my first ever WERock event was a few years ago out at Baghdad. Well, we were coming back from King of the Hammers, and it lined up with our trip. We did it on the way back. And I remember this one course. I'm not going to forget it because I had gotten through the 4 or 5 gate, whatever it was at the time, got through the last gate, and on my way back to the exit gate, I ran out of time. And I remember my dad had me sit there. It was like a side hill up, and the gate was a down. And it was such like a wide, just straight down, just drive off of it. But we were still pretty new to how this car worked and everything in our defense. Even though we should have known, let's just go right off of it. He had me sit up there for like 4 minutes. He was just looking at it like, man, I don't know how you should come down this. And I'm just sitting there for like 4 minutes. I'm like, I just gotta go. We're wasting so much time. And I sat there and I waited for him because I was like, this is a really big drop. It's scary. Which now, looking at it, it's nothing now. But to me at the time, I was like, oh my God, this is terrifying, but I gotta do it. And then I went and I did the rest of the course, and I timed out on my way back to the exit. So I'm not gonna forget that. That was also the event where I really realized my trail wheeling, you get to choose who you go trail wheeling with. So you always pick a good group for the most part. Competition wheeling, whoever's there is there. And you realize that it's very similar how everyone is family. Like when I rolled over out there that event, we had never rolled that car or got anything crazy like that. So we rolled it over, and everyone was immediately coming and helping us, telling us what tubes we should take off, that oil, because everyone might have gotten in here or this or that. And everyone was just helped us learn what we should do in that situation with that car, and helped us get it back over. And that's stuck with me. And I always try to be as helpful as I can, because I know what it's like when something goes wrong and you don't know what's going on. Even if you do know what's going on, it's always nice to have a helping hand.
Yeah, it's amazing the amount of people that, they would take the shirt off of their back to, if it meant to help you get back on course.
Yeah.
And that's what I think makes WERock very special is that it's, you're competing, everybody wants to win,
Yeah.
It is a fun family and very good atmosphere about it, but you still want to win. But if that means, you have to help somebody change an axle or something to make sure you guys have the best competition between each other, there's so many people that are there to help make that happen.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Danny Benner, he's one of my best friends. I talk to him, like I'll text him almost every day. I think I do text him every day. And I compete against him, and when he kicks my butt, I'm like, you know what? If one of us is gonna win, as long as it's one of us, it's fine. Like if me and Dad aren't in there, I'm like, you better kick all those guys' butts. It's like, you better go out and win this. But it's like, of course we're competing against each other, but it's like we're all just so close because we're all there for the same thing. We all have the same interests, and I love about WERock, and thank you guys for having these events. It's like I was saying earlier, it's a good excuse to go out and see your best friends, because we're probably not the only ones who, all of our best friends are all the rock crawling guys, and we're all scattered across the country. So when there's a good excuse to all meet up and see each other, and even if we're competing against each other, we're all with each other having fun. So that's all you can ask for.
Yep, it is. It's an awesome time. So, I was going to ask, you guys have been, go out to wheel KOH, and you hit some places along the way, wheeled Arizona, I know you've hit Texas a few times. Where's some of your favorite wheeling? You know, what comp site or even just trail wheeling have you enjoyed the most?
You go first.
I enjoy Sand Hollow, but I will tell you, I think we didn't do enough in Arizona is what we want. We're hoping to get back there this winter to do some more, but the Arizona wheeling was probably the best I've ever been on. I like big, gnarly traction boulders and climbs.
It was a really good group we were with too. We were with the Wrecked Gear crew.
Bronson.
Yeah, Bronson and all them, and Forrest Wing was there, and it was a really good group that was out, and we had a ton of fun.
Yeah.
The rocks were insane. That was when we had our old buggies. We had the Jeep-based buggies. I had that Pro Mod one, and he had Big Silver. And we did some stuff out there. That's kind of where I realized in that car that I was doing just about all that car would do. I'd look at stuff and be like, I don't even know how I did that. Like what was that, like that spider hole obstacle I did, where me and Dad were both looking at it and looking at the car like, Jesus Christ. And then Forrest Wang, who I hope to see him again if I think he still has his buggy.
Yeah.
But he was out there. He does professional Formula One drifting, insane if you haven't seen his videos. But if there's a guy who knows his car, he was amazing to watch. And he came and he was helping spot for me to get out of one of those obstacles. And I was like, I don't know how I just did that, but that was awesome. So the rocks out there, what I'm getting at, they're pretty cool. They're like, me and Dad enjoy the same stuff. We hate loose, gravelly stuff, which is sadly a lot of the places. But
I mean, so the Badlands was right up your alley then.
If we were to go depending on on the vehicle that we're in. If I was in my 2-seater, the Badlands would be my favorite terrain in my 2-seater.
Because the 2-seater
more shock travel, more horsepower, more wheel speed. Easier to bounce up stuff for moon buggies and that stuff, but Arizona, I could take it in any, in either car. It wouldn't matter to me. They're good with it.
Yeah, we just want to get back out there. I think that I enjoy
Texas.
I think the most, granted, I don't remember too much from Arizona because I was a lot younger then. That was like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe, probably 4 years ago. But Texas, I loved going out to Texas and Sand Hollow. Those are probably my favorite places to go because those are some places where you could see something that's so stupid and just be like, I'm going to go up that. And the rocks just have so much traction, it takes you right up.
Yes. It helps that you have a first place WERock Trail Hero trophy behind you there too. That always cements the feeling of the place.
That was pretty good. That was a good feeling after what happened the day before at Trail Hero with my car, and I still had like almost no time in that car. And me and Jesse, so that was one of those events. I do better when I'm like, I'm not going to win this anyways. Let's just go have fun. Like that event, I didn't keep track of score, anyone else's score, the entire event. And then we got to the last course, and I forget who it was. Someone was like, I think you're in first place right now. I was like, no way. Yeah? Oh, okay. And then we ended up winning that event.
That's always been my, like, day one. It's like, all right, we gotta, we have to finish well. And then we didn't. And it was like, all right, whatever. Like, we're just gonna go run day 2. And I mean, that's where we made points up.
That seems to happen to me too. Day 1, if I can get ahead in day 1, it's usually pretty good. But if I do crappy, day 2, I'm just like, whatever. I'm just out here driving now. I can't win. And then I'll end up making up some good points. And when it's happened to me, I'll make up a few spots the second day, but not enough, obviously. If you do bad enough the first day, you fall back enough. But I always seem when there's less pressure on me, it's just like, yeah, just gonna go drive and have fun. Like even the WERock out at West Virginia in the beginning of this year, there was that one, I think it was the first gate. It had like a big fin rock on the left and it was kind of flat on the right. And everyone was going like crazy high up on the rock to try to get around it. And I was like, because I don't think I finished the course before that or something happened where I was like, Jesse, I just want to finish this course. So let's just take this one cone and just finish the course. And I drove up on there and I was like, the front tires got on it and I was like, okay, let's try it. And the car didn't have to be all the way up on the wall. It was narrow enough to just slide right through it. I was like, that was so much easier than I thought. And I think we low scored that course. And it was like, I went in there planning to smack a couple cones and just get through with it, and we low scored it. I was like, all right.
Yeah, that's it's crazy. The car, it's almost like the car can feel what you're feeling. If you're tense, it's like the car's tense. So
Yeah.
so the Eastern Series is over for this year. But I know you guys have some stuff planned for the rest of the year. So what's the future? What's the rest of the 2025 season looking like for Melchner Motorsports?
Well, actually, we leave. We got to get my cars apart right now, and we're doing maintenance on all the cars and the trailer. We've been busy.
Forgot about the trailer.
Charlie was away for a few weeks. He was out with Jesse Haynes at his shop working with him, so he just got back late Monday night. But we're going to got to put the transmission and transfer case back in my car, do some maintenance on my car, get everything prepped. The trailer. We're going to leave Tuesday morning real early to start the drive out. We'll be out at Nationals with you. We'll come out and do that, and then our plan is I think we're going to leave everything out west, maybe with the Brassaninis or someone in Huracan, and then we'll do Trailbreaker. Well, we'll do the qualifier, and then hopefully try to get into Trailbreaker, and then I know Charlie wants to do, and I wouldn't mind either doing your WERock event you have out there at Trail Hero, and then we're going to leave the cars from there. We're going to bring them to Texas, I think, and leave everything in Texas. And fly home and then come back and we're going to do Texas Top.
Which, very optimistic. I don't know if we've ever gone that many events without breaking something. So very optimistic thinking.
Last year we did. This year was a different story.
Oh yeah, last year.
But hopefully, so we plan is Grand Nationals, LCQ for Trailbreaker, hopefully Trailbreaker, the WERock event at Trail Hero, and then end up in November in Texas at Texas Top Gun. We're both going to be in that. So that'll wrap us up, and then we'll plan on what the winter trip will take us on in January. We'll be out west going somewhere again, try to have some fun and get some seat time in and that kind of thing. But still 3-4 good events for us left if you figure it out, maybe more.
How do we get into that WERock at Trail Hero? Is registration open for that, or?
Yeah, we're gonna figure out how we want to do that. Last year we did the first come first serve, and it pretty much filled up the first day registration opened.
I know that my dad had gotten a spot, and then he gave the spot to me. So that was pretty cool. It worked out pretty good. Last year he got the spot, but couldn't get two, so he gave it to me. So I don't know if this year, if you did it already, if you started, if we could fit both of us.
So we'll figure out. We'll either do the first come first serve, or we may end up doing more of a lottery poll, because I think we're going to have a lot of competitors wanting to sign up, which is so amazing to see. I mean, the fact that the spots taken up so quickly last year, that was amazing to see everybody that wants to be a part of it come out to Trail Hero, and then also to the WERock event there. So we'll get that figured out how we want to host that. But we will have that hopefully figured out once we get back from nationals. We'll go up that week after or something. So, yep.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. It'll be awesome to have you guys come out to Grand Nationals, Farmington. It's a really cool event, and I look forward to seeing you guys out there. So thank you for coming on. I look forward to seeing you, later this year at Grand Nationals and Trail Hero and wherever else we may meet up, and then hopefully we'll see you next year for the WERock circuit as well.
All right, cool.
Thank you for having us on.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate you and your family, what you guys are doing, and we appreciate all of our WERock family out there and being a part of it. So thanks.
Thank you.
All right, talk to you soon. Bye.
All right, I think I'm good to close out now. All right, yeah, I mean, start setting up, and then the full week of activities starts Monday, and it's going to be another amazing event. I like to think, I listen for in the live feed, Max Tires, Netflix suspension, the drivetrain, welders, side tracks, special San Antonio, tailgate, axle, race on wheels. We will be live next Wednesday from Arlington, Mexico. We do everything that's going on, what happened that week. We will see you up there. We'll be live streaming, live feed tonight. If you think now, it's online, and we will see you Saturday and Sunday. Saturday for the event at Coach Virginia for the 2025 WERock Nationals. I will see you next Wednesday from Chicago.
My Carnage welder is my go-to welder. You want to see how easy it is to get to?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
We've got the fastest deployable welder. A Carnage welder is a wire feed welder. It's basically batteries and everything inside of a box. It's quick deployment. Just take out the case, open it up, turn it on, and you're ready to start welding. No pulling batteries or getting cables out. It's literally 30 seconds and you're up and ready to weld.
It's very user-friendly, awesome penetration on the welds. The first weekend I was out with it, I had to use it, and it's the only reason I was able to complete the second course in my competition.
If you're ranching and farming, you have to have a Carnage welder in your tool bag.
If you're a hunter and you're off the grid, the Carnage welder is going to be a necessary tool.
You break, let's fix it. 10 minutes later, let's get back on the trail and let's try whatever you broke it on again.
I'm able to utilize that in so many different aspects of my life.
I always carry a Carnage welder as a part of my off-road gear.
Pack it wherever you need to, flip a switch, hook up a ground, and start welding. It's that simple.